What's up, everybody? It's Paul Dini's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Square Enix Play Arts Kai DC variant Harley Quinn, and she's fairly spectacular, but we'll get into exactly why. First of all, she comes with a limited amount of accessories, which I don't quite understand. She comes with this stand, which is just the Play Arts Kai normal standard issue unit. I have a tutorial on how to build this. It'll be in the description below. She comes with two alternate hands, both gripping hands, which is used for her signature hammer, which is beautifully painted with this metallic blue and this metallic red, and it's all shaded. Even like this is washed, the silver's washed, and then the red is shaded, the blue is shaded, and then the silver up on both sides is washed. It's fairly spectacular. So she holds that with both hands. Let's just make sure. I actually haven't done this quite yet. Just fine. And I will have some pictures at the end of the video with her holding it. But it's all good. The red is all shaded there. We got the diamonds all sculpted on there and painted and beautifully done. So let's talk about her. It's okay. We'll just go piece by piece. So head is on a double ball peg, one ball peg in the neck and then one ball peg in the head, and then the neck itself is on what feels like a hinge that just goes back and forth, but gets you pretty much everything you could need. She can't go extremely high up because of the sculpt of her helmet or mask, whatever you want to call it, but outside of that, it's on the money. Metallic paint on both the balls. We got shading, a darker red and a black on the red, and on the blue, it's a darker blue, and it is like a high gloss paint. It looks magnificent. The face sculpt is, you know, like, you got to know that the kind of look that they're going for here is like their take on it, but it is, I mean, the paint on the eyes, everything is just, the eyelashes, it's just right on the money. There's teeth there inside the lips, right on the money. The white itself has like a darker shading around the edges, and then it also has like a blush on the cheeks. And then the white here has like the blush, which is, looks more like a skin tone coming through on the makeup. No complaints whatsoever. Collar's a softer plastic to allow you to push down on it and manipulate it with no issues. Both shaded. This little piece here is a softer plastic, so it doesn't impede articulation, and it is shaded. And like, even like the I don't know if that is on purpose, but it looks like it's supposed to. No, you know what it is? I think that's a hair, which is kind of gross. And there's no way to really get that off. So that's unfortunate. That's one of those things where individual results will definitely vary. Buttons are painted on the back. The torso has a ball joint underneath the breast line. You don't get a lot of forward with it, but you do get a fair amount side to side, so it's like an upper waist swivel. All the detailing stuff in her suit on the chest is all sculpted. I got a little bit of paint smudge right there. The bottom cups, so to speak, are metallic paint, and then this line across is sculpted, and then the silver buttons are painted on there. On the back, all her straps and so forth are all sculpted, shaded, painted. Perfect. The waist at the torso, at the hips rather, there doesn't. Okay, so it's got a ball joint, and that gets you a lot back, but not much forward. So the main issue articulation-wise is her ability to lean forward so far. The suit is all sculpted, shaded, painted. The buttons are painted. There's this little opening here in the back, which I think is just a nice touch. Shoulders, we have like a hinge. It's almost, I guess it's really a universal joint, or it's a double ball peg with a hinge on it, or a double ball joint with a hinge on it. But it's works like a champ. You can fold it all the way up to get as far up as you need. Bicep swivel hidden perfectly by the design and the armor here. Everything here sculpted, shaded, painted beautifully. We have the typical Play Arts Kai elbow hinge ball joint, which hinges 90 degrees for the elbow and gets you a swivel both at the bottom. It should be at the bottom and the top. This material here is all sculpted to give like a leather look. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's quite nice. All sculpted, shaded, painted perfectly. This little wrist bit here is a softer plastic. The line work between the white and the red there is done beautifully. Between the silver and the red is done beautifully. And then this typical ball hinge there for the wrist. And then the gloves, the seams in the leather gloves, the little like wrinkles in the leather gloves are all fairly spectacular. Same on the other side, except the paint is different, but the paint is all done just as well. Really, really top shelf. It really seems like they had their heart in this one, which is nice. Moving down the figure, we have these side flaps here. They're on ball hinges. They're not ratcheted, but they will move out of the way to allow for your universal joint to go as far as it needs. And then you can push it back down, or have it flowing in the breeze, or whatever you want. As far as them themselves, they have the nice glossy paint. They're all shaded. They're all painted. It's a softer plastic, but the line work does not suffer in the least for it. And the paint doesn't seem to be chipping with bending of the soft plastic whatsoever, which is nice. Same on the other side, except the colors are reversed. As far as the hips, they're universal joints as we saw, ratcheted both ways. Belt is all sculpted, painted. I got the silver, got a little bit away from them right there. That's another one of those things where individual results may vary. I believe these are all hand painted, so it's going to vary. The belt across the back side is all sculpted. All this down here, sculpted. I got another smudge there. So we do have a couple smudges that I wasn't picking up at first. Another one there. But all in all, quite well done. The thigh swivel is right here at the hip, which gets you just the anatomically kind of proper swivel. Double jointed knees, and maybe one of the best Play Arts knees I've ever seen. The boot itself is a softer kind of plastic, but it doesn't give as much, but it doesn't need to over top. And then the bottom, you see all the wrinkles in the material there. It's all really, really nicely done. A couple of paint smudges there and there. The other boot is much cleaner. As you can see, it's much cleaner all the way around. Ankles, we have this bit of soft plastic here, doesn't impinge it whatsoever. It's the ratcheted ball hinge, and then this piece here over top of the shoe is floating so that you can get it wherever you need in order to get the pose that you want. This this swivel here, if I can get it, should allow, you just got to manipulate it, you to get your tilt rocker and all that kind of business. Nicely done. All that down there. Really, really, really top shelf. And there's a size comparison with Joker. I'll be reviewing him next Friday, but I just wanted to give you a look because what good is a Harley without a Joker, right? So I'd say that's about where she needs to be. For final thoughts, the negatives are extremely few and far between. The biggest one is that there is a couple paint smudges. It's a handful of them. They're not really noticeable. Like if you have this figure posed like this on your shelf, the last thing that you or anyone else is going to notice as they walk past it are minor paint smudges. Those paint smudges are unfortunate though, because this is damn near perfect, and when you have small imperfections on an almost perfect thing, it's kind of like, wow, that's a nice white sheet. Is that new?
Yeah, I just got it today.
Ooh, are these M&Ms? I think I'll have a bit of those. Quite good.
Did you really just spit that onto the sheet?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit, though. It's a big sheet.
Which obviously is a bit distracting. But the goods far outweigh the bads. And this is pretty awesome. This is what I've kind of been feeling like Play Arts has kind of been slacking in a little bit. This is passion. This is love. This is appreciation. This is energy. This is focused. The articulation is good. The sculpt is top shelf. The details are unparalleled. The paint job is spectacular, even with the imperfections. You won't be able to get a paint job of this caliber with any other toy line that I've come across, excluding Hot Toys. But if you can dress them up in little outfits, it's just not for me. Not judging you, just saying it's not for me. So, with that being said, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.